We got some food. So we can, if you guys missed the mouth noises, we're bringing them back. We're bringing them all the way back. Actually, I can only hear a couple of those because of the noise gate. So
it's probably
Sweet.
a good thing.
Hey, happy 420, everyone.
Dude, Megan and I literally talked about like
day of the year.
We were just like, man, we should go get a whole bunch of weed today, and then we were like, it's probably gonna be packed as fuck. And lo and behold,
that's the one thing that's gonna be packed. Are they like? Are dispensaries open?
Yeah.
You can just like
they're
go
considered
pick
an
up, or
essential
like
business,
what's the deal?
which is kind of
So
fucked
they're
if you think
open.
about it, but.
Yeah, but hey, look, they're open. Dude, yeah, I bet I would love to. I mean, I'm sure they're already so slammed because of like everything that's happening, but like today especially, holy shit, I would not want to be working at a dispensary right now.
Absolutely not. But it would also be kind of tight because you probably get hella tips because everyone's just gonna be
that's
like,
true.
"Yo, it's
That's true.
420." In the spirit of
Hey,
giving,
like here's some cash, blah, blah, blah. That's true. Or like a delivery driver. You know what? Honestly, like
Yeah.
maybe I would.
why not?
Probably making
cares,
a
man?
lot of money today. Yeah.
Anyways, well, hey,
welcome to episode 9.
of
9, right?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
episode
Almost
9.
double digits, dude. Next week will be double digits.
Dude, it's gonna be a big day.
That's
But
exciting.
hey, one
That's
of us
really
has
exciting.
food today. I actually made a sandwich
That's
before we
true.
got here, so we're keeping the tradition alive now. We're back to it.
Keeping the tradition. Well, bringing it back.
Yeah.
Tell us about your sandwich, Brian. Tell us about it.
Well, I just put it together, and it's just I buy like this specific bread because it's like what my mom always bought when I was a kid, and it feels like
Wholesome.
home. So I got that. It's bread. It's called oat nut. It's green. Got like a
I
green
love oat
case.
nut.
Yeah, dude. It's so good. It's so good. So
Great.
got that. Some pepper jack cheese. Some smoked chipotle chicken. Some just plain ass Black Forest ham. A little bit of a hard Genoa salami and a little bit of Dijon mustard up in there, man. That's that shit that I go.
Wow. You have any cheese on there?
With. Yeah, pepper jack.
Oh, did you say that?
yeah.
I fucking missed it.
Yeah.
Dude.
So yeah, hey,
What? You're a chef.
we got some food for once.
We got some food. So we can, if you guys missed the mouth noises, we're bringing them back. We're bringing them all the way back. Actually, I can only hear a couple of those because of the noise gate. So
it's probably
Sweet.
a good thing.
it's for the best.
Yeah.
It's for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, hey, how you doing, buddy? It looks like you got a haircut, or someone cut your hair.
Did get a haircut. I tried to, it doesn't look too bad. Mostly just the sides and the back. But I tried to do
So all of
part
it?
of it myself. Well, no, like not the top,
Oh, okay.
like not the top part. I just like clippered, the sides and the back got clippered. But I tried to do this part of it myself, and I was like, because I tried to blend it in with the top and the bottom, and suffice it to say, I'm glad that the camera's on this side because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do just like a 1. I'm gonna hit it with a 1 to try to blend it in with like the facial hair, and the facial hair is a 2, but I didn't have a 2 guard, so I hit it with the 1 and I went a little too far in, so there's like a hard line right
Hell
here where the
yeah.
1 meets the 3,
And you like can't blend it back in because you don't have any lower gauge.
because I don't have anything else.
Holy
though.
shit.
It's just, it is what it is. But man, I was going crazy. Like the sides always, when my hair can fall over the top of my ears, that bothers me so much. Like when it's just like, man, I'll wake up rested on my ears. I'm like, it's time to stop.
Dude,
So
this is like, for me, this is kind of like where my hair is supposed to be. But I hate it because like I get like a little bit of that going too, like right here. Always just ends up going over it. And it doesn't bother me that much until I start noticing it. And then I like hyper fixate on it. And I'm just like, nope, I gotta get rid of it.
Can't notice anything else.
Yeah, but like this is kind of like where my hair is supposed to like grow into. So I always like getting it cut super
a good
short
length.
and then just letting it grow into this because then I have like a month where I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it. But
Yeah, exactly.
it's like it's frustrating.
That's
Like we're getting to that point. And speaking of that shit, we had people protesting this weekend to open up things because they
my
wanted
God,
haircuts and shit, dude. That whole thing.
Everyone everywhere is protesting right now. It's so fucking stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah, and it's just like it's just them getting mad that they can't do shit, and they're just like, "This is communism," and I'm just like, "It's not though. Like you're not barred from leaving your house. You just shouldn't."
Right. Yeah, I know. And just especially, it's fucking stupid. I saw this thing. So there was like, I didn't, and if I'm being totally transparent, didn't actually read it. I just read the headline in the first sentence. But I saw something. It piqued my interest for enough to actually open the article and read the first sentence at least. So all of the like Facebook pages for these like meetups for these were all like created like within seconds or minutes of each other, which is nuts. Like all over the country, like all of the like protest Facebook page meetups were all created like around the same time, which is kind of weird. Some conspiracy shit. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if you read that or saw anything about that, but
I didn't read that either. The one that I read was that Facebook was actually going to go through and take all of those down. Like they're going to take down everything that's like an anti-lockdown protest.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, that like makes sense. Like they should do that, and that's kind of fucked.
They should. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear that one. That one's interesting. I'm kind of.
Yeah, it might have been, I think it was on CNN. It was on the CNN app.
Dude.
And it was literally like
the Uber driver's right. This is them drawing the lines, man.
They're drawing the lines. They're putting up the 5G towers, dude. This is crazy. They're drawing out all of the dumb people. They're drawing out all the dumb people to one place.
I know.
And just like they're killing them all off. And then, so all the smart people who are inside, then, they know they won't be seen when they put up the towers.
Dude,
it's crazy.
My favorite thing is like looking at all of like they're holding up the signs of like, it's like lockdown equals communism. Then it's like the same thing happened, like, and they were like race mixing as communism. And I'm just like, I can't wait to see what those people feel like when they're in textbooks in like 60 years from now. Like just to see what they feel like.
If they're still around
Hopefully
60 years from now to see themselves in textbooks or their kids. Yeah. Oh shit. But I mean, fucking,
at the same time,
they keep at it the way they are.
Kind of be a better place without them. I'm not going to lie.
Right. That's a fact. You come home from like your grandson like comes home from Thanksgiving and like, Grandpa, I think I saw you in a textbook, like in my social studies class. Was that you? Is that you with the sign? I don't know. No, doesn't sound like me.
Yes, Timmy, I was there to fight for our rights and make sure that we could infect people with an infectious disease all we wanted to.
Imagine. I wonder if like there's ever been a time where like, I mean, because like not necessarily like a history textbook, because I'm sure it would take a while for something to be like published in a history textbook, but like where someone knew someone that was in a textbook, you know what I mean? Like if there was ever that kind of like something happened and then
like a big deal
enough
thing?
Time passed where it became in it was in a textbook and maybe like their kid was like, yo, is this you? Like, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if things happen that quickly
split too. So it's like a couple of like decades after you would be put into it. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Cause I mean, like I know Brock Turner is now in textbooks under like rapist. And I was like, yeah, that's what that guy is.
Oh shit. Well, good. Holy shit.
I just thought that was funny because they like made a big deal about him being in a textbook. I was like, no, that makes sense. I was like, out of everything, I'm the most okay with that.
Yeah, 100%.
The whole thing's crazy. Yeah, and I saw a tweet today that was like they're talking about. Ooh, excuse me, that one was kind of wet. They're talking about.
I didn't hear it because
that's for the best. But I saw a tweet that was like on 420, the price of oil dropped 69 cents. It's
nice, dude.
A barrel of oil is at like $8. So like, I think at the peak, it hit like $52 a barrel was like around there. So it's dropped all the way to $8 a barrel just because like energy demands are like probably have to go way up or something like that. Mm-hmm. And because of that, or well, no, they're going way down because people aren't driving and shit. So like, because of that, they're like, well, shit, who are we going to sell this oil to? And so it just like plummeted. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
That is fucking insane, dude.
It's like interesting watching all this shit happen. Cause it's like, it's nothing that we haven't worked through before. Like we've dealt with similar shit like that, but it's like watching it happens in like such rapid succession it's weird. Yeah. It's so strange.
It's insane. It is. Yeah. It is, dude. Have you this has actually not, I don't know what reminded me
I like
of this.
how you're like speaking of like it's supposed to segue into it, but it's just not the
Speaking of barrels of oil and Saudi princes. No, you said the word barrel and it reminded me of, dude, this is how my brain works. Okay. You said barrel and then I thought about the shape of a barrel. Okay. And then the shape of a barrel reminded me of this thing that's going around on like Instagram and Facebook and shit. And I don't know if you've seen it, but like first of all, it's a pyramid scheme.
Okay,
and
cool.
people. But it's like new. It's like this new thing, and like it doesn't look like a pyramid. It's like it literally looks like a shape of a barrel, like a hexagon type thing. And in the middle, there's one person. So the whole premise is like everyone's posting it on their stories, and by everyone, I mean like dumb fucking people. I unfollow everyone who posts about it.
Any MLM, you're just like, nope, you're done. You're gone. You're dead to me.
Yeah, I'm like, nope, sorry, bye. Off my friends list. So the concept is like there's like an outer circle, like a middle ring, and an inner circle.
Okay.
And the whole idea is you're supposed to recruit 8 friends to so send someone like $100 or whatever, right? And then like everyone is like posting about it. They're like, yeah, like, so I'm in the middle and I send my initial $100, and then everyone else sends $100, and then once you send that to me, right? And so I get $800, but then you post this on your story and you get 8 friends to send you $100, and then you get $800, and like, I'm like, that's a fucking pyramid scheme.
That's exactly what.
But it's in the shape of a circle, so like they're literally like, no, it's not. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's a circle.
It's a circle.
And like it's so. I've seen so many. It's literally like, oh my God, dude, how do people fall for pyramid schemes?
It's
let me send you $100.
One of my favorite things.
Like, what the fuck?
One of my favorite things was one of my friends. Actually, no, you know her. She started doing this thing like Monat or something like that. God, I hope she listens to this because I'm gonna drag the shit out of her.
What is Monat?
It's like this hair, like wellness company, I guess, but it's a pyramid scheme. 100% a pyramid scheme.
Oh, sure,
and,
sure.
She was posting about all these things, and like she does like a really long story, just like Instagram story, like talking about like the process with it and like what what to buy and like what she uses and everything like that. And every time she does it, I like message her and I'm like, hey, what's this? And for the first time I was just like, hey, what is this? And she was like, oh, it's this thing. Like, I'm actually like really interested in it. But if I ever get to the point where it doesn't sound like me, please tell me and I will stop. And I was like, I mean, it doesn't sound like you. All of it just sounds like you're peddling some fucking just something. And I was just like, I don't have the heart to just tell her that right off the bat. So I was like, I'll just keep this to myself for a couple of weeks and see what happens. Yeah. But every time she posts something about it, I'm just like, oh, you can't, like, you gotta not. No, please don't do this. Don't do this to yourself. Don't do this to other people.
No, dude.
It's so funny.
God damn.
I hope she hears that. Like, I'm sorry, but you know who you are.
I'm sorry, but like, don't be in a fucking pyramid scheme. Hey, just don't be in a pyramid scheme. Simple as that.
You see a pyramid, like, you walk away. All right, it's like strangers. You're
like, nah, okay? Starting to look like Egypt up in here. I'm like, I'm out, dude.
It's fucking some geezo shit in here. I ain't about that shit. Hell no. I see what you're doing, and I'ma leave. I don't understand. The crazy thing is that like one happens, it disappears. And then like another one just pops back up. Like, do you think it's just one person that's just like waiting? Once one dies, they're just like, all right, let's give it a couple of months. Month goes away, he just starts the next one. And like, I don't understand how people keep seeing these shits happen and then just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that one because it's not like this one.
Oh, this one looks nice. This is better. Yeah, I don't know. Is it people's inability to like look past things at surface level and be like, oh, it's a different product, so it's not the same thing, or is it like? Yeah, it's a different. I mean, like what? Yeah, I
was like, as soon as they explain the business structure to you, how are you not just like, oh, this is a pyramid scheme? I should leave.
Like, oh, there's someone at the top, and then then there's a couple people below him, and then like underneath them, there's like me, but then I have people underneath me selling up and giving me their stuff. I'm like, okay, so it's a kind of like a pyramid. No. Oh, sorry. No. It's not a pyramid. No.
It's not a pyramid. It's just a triangle. It's not 3D. It's 2D.
It's not 3D. It's like stairs. It's like a set of stairs. There's like someone clearly at the top, and then like I'm here at the bottom.
If you think
it's like a reverse funnel.
If you think about it, isn't any business that exists technically a pyramid scheme? Because you have like a CEO, and like board of directors and shit like that. Then underneath them are like the VPs and whatever. And then you've got that underneath them. And then all these people, like, yeah, they're not paying into the people above them, but they're making money off of these people. So like,
that's, dude, honestly, yeah, I don't know. Kind of.
I feel like
everything is a pyramid scheme.
Like new age hippie, like everything's a pyramid scheme, man. But hey, it's 420.
Hey, man, it is the 420 episode. Jinx. Yeah, it's the 420 episode, dude. We can get our tinfoil hats on for this one and just get a little bit fucking goofy.
Here, though. I shouldn't do that.
I got Burt's Bees.
What was the old thing that they used to? There was like the vine of like the dude he like sucked on a USB drive and had like a wad of paper in his mouth.
A wad of paper in his mouth. He was like.
I don't like that it like stuck to your tongue. I don't like that. I don't
either.
Happened.
It's toilet paper. I just wasted precious toilet paper for that.
Why? Dude, I went to fucking Ralph's like last weekend to get some groceries because I need to, I don't know, live. And the toilet paper is just still
Makes
gone.
sense. It is, dude.
Still gone.
I went today. I went this morning. There's no toilet paper. Everything else is so stocked. Like everything, all of the aisles are pristine, except there's no toilet paper.
It's
like
the weirdest shit. I'm like, why is this happening? I was like, we are a month into the apocalypse. I was like, this should be done. We should be done with this by now. Like
we should have figured out a new toilet paper distributor.
Everyone should
like
have
fucking
already
ramp
shit
it
out
up.
all of their bowels and just be dead. Like they should just be dead. I should not have to be dealing with this.
So like, are people still stockpiling toilet paper out of fear,
really
you
hope.
think? Or is it just like they haven't restocked for whatever reason?
I hope that they're like still prepping. Also, okay,
Yeah.
here's something weird that I just thought about. I saw a meme, good old meme on the internet, and on my way home, and I was like, wait a minute, this makes sense. But it was like a dude that was like, it was like preppers and stuff, and they were just like, I can survive in this baby for 10 months, and then it's like an actual month into like when they could have been like using that shit. They're just like, I need to go to the hairdresser, and it's like, what the fuck? I was like, that's a good point. I feel like all the doomsday preppers would be the people that would walk out and be like, this is insane, we need to stop this. It's just like, bitch, you built a bunker in your backyard, Cletus. What the fuck are you talking about? You're the most prepared for this.
Don't come out.
Just stay there.
I know. It's got hella canned food. Their walls are made out of canned food and like caulk.
It's just ew. And just like they eat the caulk first and then they just go to the cans. Like that's how they structure it. They're like, this is how we're gonna survive.
This is how we're gonna do it.
Cletus Jr.
We get to the treats after we eat it.
And then they're like, we'll just
poor Cletus.
Cletus Jr.
We'll eat him.
Yeah, we'll just go with
we'll
that.
Eat him.
Why?
Stoke a fire in the
Why
backyard.
are we eating all this precious caulk when we could be eating our dead child? Okay, all right. I'm done with that.
Why eat cock?
Why eat caulk?
I love the way you say caulk. Is it cock or caulk?
It's spelled caulk. So like you say caulk, which like sounds gross.
I only hear cock. I only hear cock.
Absolutely. There's actually a really
cock.
great YouTube video that's like it's what is it? It's like something about cock. And it's like in Australia, so like the dude's like selling you cock. He's just like, I'm gonna say you this cock. And so he's just like, and it's just him
It sounds so Boston.
Yeah, it's like
That's
him
so
like
funny.
mispronouncing shit. So when he's talking about his deck, he's just like, the kids love being on my dick. And he's just like saying all this stuff and like explaining all of this. And at the very end, and he's just like, he's like, try the big black cock. And he like holds it up, and it's just like this bigger, just like black cylinder of caulk.
Funny.
Oh, dude, it's honestly one of my favorite videos.
So
I will send
good.
it to you after.
Yeah, you'll have to link it to me. That's hilarious,
so
dude.
great, dude.
Holy shit!
I need to be able to find.
Speaking of the YouTubes though, because we were this time actually. I didn't say speaking of.
This is like an actual segue.
This is an actual segue. Have you heard of this YouTuber ASMR mukbang lady named So Young?
No, but I don't like that started off with So Young. Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
That's literally, I don't know if that's her actual name or whatever. I think she's Korean, but so it could be her actual name.
That makes a little more sense. I wouldn't like it makes a little more sense. Some dude from Chicago and he's just like, yo, what's up? I'm so
His name
young.
is So Young.
I'm 14. Watch me shove all this shit in my mouth. Like, damn, what the fuck? I don't know why the kid from Chicago has to have that deep of a voice, but whatever.
He does. 14-year-olds really be a Fortnite gets you into puberty a lot quicker.
It just injects testosterone.
Where are we dropping, boys? Our voice.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Where are we dropping, boys? Okay. Twisted Tilted Towers. All right, so there's this girl, and her name is So Young, and she's been on YouTube for like a long time. Like, it's been a hot sec. So she's always done like ASMR type like mukbang videos, like where she just has like this insane amount of food in front of her, and it's always like real slurpy and whatever the fuck. But recently she's started to post these videos where she posted one in particular which kind of spurred this whole thing, and it's like she's at her normal setup. She's got like this table and some mics and shit, and she opens this like box, and there's like a whole bunch of squids, but they're still live squids, and they're like kind of just like floating around. And so she pulls them out of this box with water in them and just like slams them on the table, right? And so they're still like, they're kind of like moving around but they're out of water. So they're kind of like going a little crazier than they normally would. And
Flailing
then
squids.
all of a sudden she takes this huge fucking knife and just like kills it, right? She or sort of kills it, because apparently the brain of the squid is still alive, can still live for like 30 minutes. So she cuts off the head. The head turns like completely a different color, fills up with blood. She throws it off to the side, and you see just the tentacles in the brain like still going like this. And so she does that with all the squids, and then she puts like soy sauce on it. She calls the video like dancing squid. She throws a whole bunch of soy sauce on it. And so she's like salting this like open severed head, and they start like fucking writhing in pain. And then she just like shoves the whole thing down her mouth, and like while it's still alive, and she's like pulling it apart with her teeth and like. And so now that's like her whole channel now is like her killing sea creatures, like and torturing them, basically like torturing sea creatures live on camera on YouTube, and then just like eating them tentacle by tentacle.
Fucked, dude. What
it's
the hell,
fucked
dude?
up. But the YouTube's not flagging it. There's this whole drama around
That's
it, because
crazy.
like
What the
so
fuck?
she's doing that, and
I feel like that
her
constitutes
videos
as,
are
like,
not getting
animal abuse,
demonetized. It is animal abuse. I mean, she's like, picture if it was like with a dog, like if you cut off his head and like salt the wound, but the head is still alive. Like that's literally what she's doing, but just to squids,
dude,
and shit. But it's weird. So like, it's, it's like this controversy, because it's like
controversial.
That's kind of sometimes how that kind of food is eaten, like alive. Yeah. So like hot pots and stuff like that, like lobsters and like whatever the fuck.
Like
there's
like a dish. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like a certain like seafood that they've killed and stuff like that. But when you put like this certain sauce on it, it like makes it move and stuff, because like there's some protein in the sauce that like kicks off like the neurons inside of it and like makes it move, which is, oh my God, that's
weird
horrifying.
as fuck. Why would you want to do that?
If that ever happened, if that happened in front of me, I would leave. I'd be like it's gonna eat me from the inside out. If my food
started moving for any reason, dude, for any reason at all, I'd be like, I'm not putting that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell no.
I was like, I'm not putting
your
that in my
sandwich
mouth.
just
Go
starts
fuck
like
yourself. And then I just
hell no,
like fucking leave. Like what? The whole thing is insane. And so I concede if it's that, but no, she's just like straight up like.
It's straight up like, there's a live animal. Here's a dead part of the animal. Here's the still like being tortured. Like he's just like, end my fucking misery. Salt it. And then like slurp it, but like not even all at once, like tentacle by tentacle, like pull off the tentacle with their teeth and just,
dude, the whole.
And so it's like just writhing in pain. But it's like, so, it's weird. There's like a whole, I've been like deep diving into these, like this like drama, because like all these people are making videos about it, but then a lot of other people. So like first of all, everyone universally agrees that like what she's doing is fucked up. But then there's the people making the videos are like, okay, so this is fucked up. But then there's people responding to those videos, and they're like, you guys are hypocrites because you guys eat meat. And so like, isn't that what this is? But basically blah, 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 blah. And so now there's like, everyone is just like mad at each other, like because of hers. And so like now all the hate has shifted from her while she's still making these videos, getting monetized, whatever, to like the people who made the reaction videos. And now there's like this beef between them and like the vegan YouTube. And like, it's just like back and forth. It's insane.
Jesus. I mean, like, here's the thing. There's something the vegan argument is actually a very valid argument. And
it's fair.
In
totally
terms
fair.
of like the full argument itself, that's a very valid argument to make. But I think like the big difference between them is that we're not bringing a cow in and slaughtering it on video and then eating it raw on video. Like it's right.
We're not like torturing.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing.
Like, is like,
I know there's,
I get the argument.
I get it. And I know there's obviously a lot to be said about like how the animals or how some animals are treated before they're killed and whatever, absolutely. Like in these, especially like with, like you've seen like the scandals with like Tyson and with shit like that.
And all the Monsanto shit.
I get it. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. So I get it, but it's not like, again, it's not like I am I don't know. See, like I don't want to sound like a dick or like a
Right,
hypocrite or
and
whatever,
I mean-
because obviously I eat meat, whatever.
and
But
that's the
like,
problem.
it's not me bringing the cow in or bringing the chicken in, torturing the shit out of it,
absolutely.
and then eating it in front of people.
Right.
So
That's
I don't
that's
know,
the
but I
difference.
get it.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
like I get the
But I
argument.
totally get it.
I just think the argument against her in the first place is the most like hard opinion. You know what I mean? Like that's the one that I'm just like, nah, that this one is worse. Like there is a tier level,
Yeah.
and this one is higher. Okay.
Yeah. Hers is much higher.
Yeah, and so it's
bad.
and that's why it's just like, yeah, I'm like, you're not wrong. I will not. I'm not gonna disagree with that. But like, in the context of what's going on here, you're in like 4th place. Let's calm down.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
They're bigger. You know,
There's bigger fish to
this
fry.
argument
Like,
came
maybe
from
we should
something
make sure
bigger.
that this woman can't profit off of just killing shit on video. That's just a
Yeah,
thought.
exactly. And she's like 3 million subscribers. She's like a huge
Holy
audience.
shit.
And like, it's like people are just watching.
Good
I mean,
lord.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. And now like she's getting all of these new viewers because of these
Right,
commentary channels
absolutely.
that are like commenting on her, but her videos are still monetized. So they're going to her channel
getting-
and giving her more
she's-
clicks and more views. And she's just like raking in the fucking cash and the ad revenue.
I mean, here's the thing: how long can it really sustain itself? Because like, on one hand,
Sure.
you could probably claim like, oh, this is a traditional cultural way of preparing this dish, right? Like you can argue that, but I don't know if it explicitly, I don't know if that is enough to like not have to abide by the EULA of YouTube. So like, I get, or community guidelines, I guess. So it's like, it's interesting to, I want to see how that goes, because like I feel like a lot of shit on YouTube like slips through their cracks unless it's like overt. But this one is just kind of a thing where it's just like, okay, like I can understand how, you know, the 400 people at YouTube missed like this person's channel. So like now that it's like blowing up, like YouTube has to do something about it, I guess. Like
Sure.
whether that be them just being like, hey, it's fine, like we can't do anything with it, whatever. People won't like that, but they're still doing something about it. And I think that's the thing.
They've responded.
Exactly. I'm gonna hope that they respond affirmatively, but we
don't
know. That's fucking
Yes,
wild.
we'll just have to wait and see.
YouTube is so strange, so weird.
Their content flagging policies and their like copyright shit is like, it's just so, it is super, super weird. And now they have this thing in place, like at the top of everyone's creator studio. When you go in, it says, we, in order to like, you know, keep our workers safe and stuff, a lot of the people who normally review videos are not working.
Okay.
So they're relying heavily on their automated content flagging software. So they're saying like a lot. So like, this means that a video that might not violate community standards might get deleted, and there's nothing we can do about it. So there's like the flip side of that,
That's
you know?
interesting.
So
I mean, on one hand, it's
weird.
like, I think that's a good thing. Like obviously, like they should be going into work and doing that. But I don't know. I feel like this is a bad time to have that happen, because there's going to be a lot of like people coming out of the woodwork to be like, my racist thought, and throw it out on the internet. And like it's just going to sit there for too long, and they're going to be able to monetize it. And then fucking One News America is going to walk in and be like, or One American News Network is going to walk in and be like, hey, you should be a contributor. You can spout some racist shit on the TV without getting yelled at.
Right. Yeah. So,
dude, that's fucking weird.
I don't know.
That is wild.
But yeah, that's what's going on with the tubes. That's my drama alert section for today.
Let's get right another new. Dude, I hate that fucking intro so much. Oh my God. Keemstar's like
Keemstar
intro. Dude, I hate that intro so much.
Yeah.
It's also weird too, because
so
like
bad.
there was a while where I thought everybody hated him. Like I thought people just hated Keemstar.
Oh, I thought he hated him too, but now all of a sudden he's like kind of weaseled his way back into
and
like,
like the Misfits and stuff like that. Which like granted they're not pariahs of anything good on the internet, but like they always talk about just like hanging out with him and like making videos and shit like that. And I was just like, I was like, he still does things and is popular. Like people like him again.
Yeah, that's
I was like, what happened?
Like I there was a time where he was literally just like the black sheep, but he was just like, oh, like fucking Keemstar, like whatever. And he would like, you know, because he would stir up the pot and stir whatever. So I think maybe it might be a thing where he's like, I don't watch him, so I don't know, but I know he's active. So it might be like he's changed his ways from like stirring the pot to just like unbiased reporting, which could make sense.
Which would be cool, I guess. But I don't know. I guess I'd have to do more research before I like concluded on something.
Same.
But I don't know. I just thought it was weird, like hearing his name like in a positive manner. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this guy?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know. Maybe there's just something I'm missing. Who knows? I miss a lot of things. There's so much stuff. But
Same. Same.
Happens.
I mean, hey, we can't all be expected to be up to date on everything all the time, 100% of the time.
I gotta check my email. It's like kind of funny, just like sitting here at my desk, just like playing games or recording a podcast, and then I just get like a work email. I'm just like, oh, do this, and then send it like mid sentence. It's the earth is strange. Things are weird right now.
It's weird. Do you have like, are you having a hard time like separating when you should be like working and answering shit versus like just normal everyday stuff? Because I know that's like kind of hard, at least for me too. Like, because I work and I like chill in the same spot, same desk, same computer, whatever. So like it's kind of like a weird disconnect. Like, have you been feeling
absolutely. And it's I totally agree with that. Like that's a big problem that I have. Like living the way that I do is like it kind of bothers me, just because like I could go out in my living room and something like that and work on my laptop. Like, in fact, I actually kind of edit a lot of photos and stuff like that on my laptop elsewhere, just because it's a less intensive process. And then when I need to do like Photoshop and stuff like that, I come back to this, because these monitors really aren't that calibrated very well. And Mac's monitors are actually very well color calibrated. So I like using that instead.
The color. Yeah.
But it's always been hard for me. Like working at home has just always been like a very difficult thing for me to do. Like it's hard for me to get into the mindset that like, okay, I'm about to edit this piece. I'm about to work on these photos. I'm about to send all these emails, etc. Like it's hard for me to get in that mindset when I'm sitting 3 feet from my bed that I just got out of like an hour ago. So like that's very hard for me. And that's kind of why like Megan and I are going to look for 2-bedroom apartments and stuff so that we can make like an office.
So you're going to have like a specific work area.
And I'm still concerned that I don't know if that's going to do enough for me, just because like still like I'm going to sit down at my computer and play games. Like it's still going to be a way that I relax, but it's just in another room. So like I don't know if it's really going to affect it as much. I'm going to believe that it will, but for me personally, like this over like the quarantine, it hasn't been that difficult. It was at the beginning because like I was coming on to the show. So I was like, okay, I don't really know where I'm supposed to do this or this. But my lead was just like, yeah, dude, he's like, your shift starts at this time. Up until then, if it's just like a quick thing that you can just respond yes or no, sure, whatever. But you don't have to. He's like, don't go out of your way to do stuff. Like it is still work. You are still working. You still have to separate.
Right.
And I was like, right. Oh, that's a good point. So yeah, I'll look at my email and make sure that I'm like up to date on stuff, but I won't respond or do anything unless it's specifically like, hey Brian, do you have this? I'm like, sure. Yeah, whatever. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, like I've always found it difficult to work at home. I like doing it, but it's hard for me to get started. That's the problem I have.
It is.
How are you doing with it? Especially considering the fact that like you've almost exclusively worked from home like your whole life basically.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I've never, at least for my professional life post college, I've only worked from home, so it's weird. I mean, like, which is interesting, like, especially like when I talk to friends who like have an office job or like have a 9 to 5, like even like more structured than what you do technically, like even just like people who are like in corporate America, I like, honestly, like it was weird. I went through this period of my life, like, I don't know, maybe 2018 or something like that, where I was like straight up jealous of those people. I was like, damn, that sounds really nice. Like going in, not in like a, but it's weird because I know that I don't want that kind of job. I wouldn't thrive in that kind of environment. But like whenever I'd like talk to them and they'd be like complaining about like, oh yeah, and like this and this and this, and be like, but that honestly, like low key having just like structure where I can go somewhere like to an office, I can see the same people every day. Like, I can have like my like work friends and whatever, like sounds. It's still some, parts of it are appealing to me, like at least to like going somewhere and like seeing people. Cause like I literally don't like it's a very solitary kind of work, which sucks to a certain extent. I mean, I really like it, but sometimes I'd be like, I catch myself being like, what if I had like an office and then like, cubicle mates or like people who like worked across from me or whatever. So it's a kind of a, it's a nice thought, but
for sure. I think that's like, kind of going off that, like, because like at this level of the industry that I live in or that I work in, it kind of like, it's cool that like this exists and stuff. But like I've always wanted to have like my end game was always like to have like a small studio where I like make my own shit, like get to that point was kind of the goal. Yeah. And I still think it'd be like kind of cool to just like rent out an office space and just keep a computer and a desk there. just so that I can
Yeah.
literally leave my apartment or my house or something like that, go work somewhere, and then come back home, like to get that separation, even though it is still kind of like on my time. And that was always kind of like my goal. So I was like, oh, maybe I get to a point where like, you know, I have 4 or 5 friends. We start like a small production studio or something like that, rent out that space. And then we just always have that. And that was kind of like the dream. And I still like really want to do that. But like, as I find myself like progressing in the career, the way that I am, not the way that I thought I would. It's more like, oh, I'm just going to have a nice room in my house that turns into an editing bay.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay, fine. I still want that separate space and I still want that studio idea. But I'm not like trying to rush to get to that like I thought I would be doing.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, your career progresses and like your wants and your needs kind of, you find out what's a want and what's a need, you know, as you do your thing. And yes, but it's good. I mean, you're still moving towards a goal, which is important. I feel like you know, having a goal in mind
and focusing on trying to achieve that, but then also like trying to find the like work-life balance, like being able to separate working and not working, which like, especially right now is kind of
super important.
So
yeah, exactly. It's hard regardless. I think, you know, like, especially at the beginning, like when I was just like first working from home, whatever, like, dude, sometimes I just like do nothing for like a week, like a week and a half, like be like, oh, like, cause I don't need to like, oh, just my own time, like whatever. I can just watch YouTube all day and just like, you know, stay up all night and do my thing, you know, just like not have a schedule. And it's just like, it's so easy to do that. That's the thing. At any point of working from home, like, regardless of how far along you are in your career, it's so easy to do that.
How bad was your like sleep schedule based off of like working in college? Like how bad was your sleep schedule?
In college? See, that's the thing. Like in college, it was fine because I kind of had my like, it was like right after college where it was really bad. But like during college, the thing is like it was structured, you know, at least. That's like fair. I had my classes, and then after classes, I had my my own time, but I, you know, would work on music and Prism and stuff during that time. So it was like structured. But like after college, where I like didn't have the day job, quote unquote, of like, okay, here's your class, here's your schedule, you know, be here at 8 a.m., whatever. That, and I just had like the music and just kind of was figuring out where to go and how to monetize my different, you know, endeavors. That is when I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, I would wake up at like noon or 1 and go to bed at like 4, 5, just because I'm like, I don't really have the structure, and I didn't. And it was, so I really had to like kind of hammer that into my brain, like, you know,
for sure,
because nothing gets done, even if, well, I don't know, not to say that, you know, people
doesn't get done like to the best
on opposite sleeping schedules doesn't get done, but yeah, exactly. At least how I work, and I feel like how a lot of people work, is like, if I'm like up early-ish, not super early, but if I'm like, you know, awake during morning, daytime hours, I get more done than if I'm awake during the night.
Same. Which I kind of learned, because like in college, what I used to do is like, I would let like the day be my time to just kind of like be a human being, and then I would work at night. Like that's basically what I was doing.
Okay.
And especially like my last 2 years, what the fuck was that? The last 2 years I was like in this like weird limbo, because like my classes never really met. So like we had like a scheduled time that we were supposed to be in class, but like our professor was just like, hey, there's like nothing to learn. You just go do something, like go make something. And we were like, okay, cool. So like a lot of it was just kind of like, oh, I'd wake up at like 9:30, eat breakfast. I'd go to like the 1 or 2 classes I had a day, come back home, watch TV or a movie, make dinner. And then I'd start working at like 7:30 and then stay up until like 3:30, 4 a.m. And like that was kind of what always happened. And like that's kind of what's happening now. But like, granted, my shift is actually like more of a night shift anyways on this. But it's very much like I start working at like 5:30, 6 p.m. and then I go until 2, 3:30 in the morning. And then I wake up at like 10:30, 11 and like continue the whole thing, which like, I'm glad that it's happening now. Like during this, like where like it doesn't really affect my social life, but it's difficult.
It'll be interesting to see like if this, I mean, assuming this quarantine ends in a timely fashion and you're still working on the show that you're working on, it will be interesting to see how that kind of starts playing into like, you know, you seeing other people, or you doing, you know, things that you would normally do if you were allowed to leave your house.
And it, like, at the same time too, it's like I'm not super concerned about it. Especially I think I wrap out on this show at like the end of May. So like if we extend it through May, like I'll be done when the quarantine's
then
done.
you're chilling. Yeah.
Which like I'm not. It's not a big deal to me, but it's it's just weird. It's just weird. And
I mean, there's,
I just want to get, I want to get to a point where I can actually like better structure my life. And I feel like this is the time that I should be focusing on that, but I'm just not. And I feel bad about it.
Right.
And it's fun.
I mean,
it's great.
Yeah, but it's easy to, it's easy to feel guilt about shit like that, like during a time like this, but that's the least of your worries. I feel like
absolutely. Right now it's just kind of like making sure I don't die and that nobody around me dies. that's kind of the focus.
You got to survive.
Exactly.
That's the goal. What's the plan after you wrap then in May? Because dude, I mean that's in a month. Holy shit.
I know, it's weird. Realistically, it's just going to be either I take off the time, or maybe they roll me onto another show. I don't really know. I haven't really started looking into it. Probably should be, but a lot of it is just kind of like, well, if I get to that point, like I've like saved up enough to where I could probably take like a month or two off and just coast and do stuff. So maybe I do that. And maybe I like give like streaming like an actual go, and then, or I just roll onto another show. They know of something, someone connects me with something, I apply to something, and go from there. But
so you don't really find that out until like maybe closer to the end, or what?
I
or you just haven't asked around.
I don't really know if this is like a good way of doing it or not, but usually when I get to about a month out from my rap date, I'll start reaching out to people. I'll be like, hey, have you heard of anything coming up? Do you know of anything? Here's my resume. If you hear something, let me know. And like, that's usually the way that it goes. I like this company a lot. I like working with these people. I just don't really want to continue working for them. Like I absolutely would love to like work with them in the future and stuff, but I really like to branch out and like learn something different right now, because I've worked with this company on their shows for 2 years straight now, and I want to go see how another company does it. I want to go work with some other people who do things a different way and just kind of like learn more. Like that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to get locked into something. So that's the hope.
No, I get it. That makes sense. Yeah. Well, shit. Fucking, I guess we'll see.
It'll be interesting. I've got a couple weeks before I need to start hard throwing some stuff out. So we'll see. But I'm not concerned right now, is what I'm getting at. Which is nice. Well, good. It's a good feeling.
That's good. It's good.
How are you like feeling with kind of like all of your classes and like other productions and stuff? Like you actually have like, I guess you kind of have more time now to experiment, if you will, because you're not like gearing up for a tour, you're not gearing up for shows or anything like that. You're just
I've been feeling good, especially just like as far as like growth of like what I'm more willing to try. Like it's, because like it's easy, like when I have like a tour coming up, or when I have like, a packed schedule of like other shit that I need to do, I find myself kind of like, at least for like creating music for Prism, like I kind of find myself like falling into like the same, like, okay, I'm just gonna, when I make new songs for Emma to sing on, I'm like, okay, I just like end up throwing some like random beats at her. I'm like, okay, so just like sing to these. If something works, like we'll develop it further. But now I'm kind of like I'm experimenting. I'm like, okay, like fuck, like what if we did something like this, or what if we did something like this, and like we're doing our weekly
like
cover.
An hour or two ago, you just you were doing like a vocoder basically, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I'm gonna just fuck around and do something like that.
Dude, that's so cool.
Today.
I love that.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's cool. I'm digging it, man. I'm having
Emma
blast.
Is Emma also going pretty well with it, considering that like I like your dynamic is very interesting, because it's not like you guys don't like hang out all the time, because like you live like half a country away pretty much. So it's like it's a lot of just like, hey, here's something, sing, or she sends you something and you're like, cool. So like how I don't want to say like how is that affected by this, but it's like is this more just kind of like business as usual in that sense, or is it kind of just like a
I mean, for the most part, just because like I mean, we haven't even it was after college, there was never a point where we lived close together anyways, but we still had to continue doing this. So like it's like every day regardless. Like even when I lived in Indiana, we would Skype for like 2 to 3 hours a day. And so like we're still doing that. We're still like Skype every day and whatever. Yeah. So like it's still, as far as like music creation and, planning and doing the managerial stuff, it's still business as usual. Like we're still taking meetings and we're still, like talking to people, sending our EPK back and forth. Like now is kind of a good time to look for some sort of representation, which is nice that we've been trying to do that for a while since we left our last manager. But now is kind of like a good time actually. And so we've been like taking meetings and like sending out our press kit and whatever. And more people have responded within the past like month than have before, which makes sense because now they're, I guess, checking their inboxes.
Right, because they have the time now. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So cool. It's good. It's been good. I'm feeling real productive.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So like another question I always have, dude, the music industry is just so fucking cool to me, but it's also like confusing as shit. So like when you're trying to like send stuff to people, do you just go through their website or something like that? Because one of my friends like works in labels and everything, and she was like, when someone would like send us a box or something that was like a listening package, we would just throw it away. Mm-hmm. Like there's no way in hell that we're going to take the time to do that. Just submit it through the normal fashion and we'll get to it. Like that's just how it is. Like they get mad when people do that. So do you just follow the whole, like there's a submission link, boom, there it is. We're done. For the most part, I guess it really depends. Like in the beginning, like 3-4 years ago, we were definitely like, we were hitting these submission links up. We were like, sending like demo emails, like the demo at blah, blah, blah label.com. Like we would just send a bunch of shit. And like, it used to work a lot better than it does now, I think. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if people don't check their demo submissions anymore, but like, now the best route is like, I feel like I've built up this network of not necessarily direct contacts, but people who know these direct contacts. Right. So I'm in a bunch of like, musician groups on Facebook, like who are just like full of people in the industry, basically just like random. So I'll, sometimes I'll throw out a post there like, hey, does anyone have a connect like for an A&R at this label or like the head of this blog or whatever? And then people there will like send me their emails and be like, hey, here's blah, blah, blah's email. Just when you reach out, tell them that I sent you, whatever. So now it's kind of like like reach out and tell them, that it's me, blah, blah, blah. So but I don't know, but we've also gone about the way where some people don't have connections to the places I want to send shit to. And so we're like, all right, let's just send it through their submission email and see what happens. Just never, ever hear anything back. Like at least 3-4 years ago, we'd hear like, oh, this is what we're looking for, whatever. Like, sorry. But like now it's just like dead air. So I don't really know what the deal is with those now, but dude, that whole thing, it feels so much of like a you caught me on a good day kind of thing. Like that's what it seems like.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what
Holy
it is.
Shit.
It is just like the luck of the draw. It's the luck of the draw. Like, oh, such and such a person happened to check their email right now when you just sent one in and they were feeling like, I have an extra 3 minutes to spare. I've been having a good morning, and they click on it and they happen to like it. And then, like it's such a delicate balance where it's like,
it really is like a lot of luck. Like it really is.
It is a lot of luck. It's a lot of fucking luck. So
that's kind of like how all this shit is. Like I literally, so one of my friends who's like an editor that I worked with, he I remember I interviewed to be like a post PA on it, and it was like a feature. It was an indie feature. Actually had like some pretty big names and stuff attached to it. And I was talking to him with him like afterwards, and I was just like, it's like this, I don't know if this is like, looking a gift horse in a mouth or something like that, but it's like, why did you hire me? Like I went to an engineering school in the Midwest in a state that you can't even point to on a map, I guess. And so it's like, what? I was like, why? And he was just like, well, he was like, I had like a lot of people come in and interview from like USC, NYU, and like UCLA. I had like kids come in with that, but I looked at them and I was just like, what are you doing here? It's just like, use those connections that you have to get somewhere else. I knew that you didn't have those connections. So I wanted to give you the shot and see if it worked. And it worked. And I was just like, I was just like, that's kind of like the opposite of what like you would expect. And so it was like
gonna say like, a lot of people are not that gratuitous with their time and their resources. Exactly. Like that's super nice.
It was so cool. And I learned a lot. And that's kind of like what piggybacked me into, like, how I am, like where I am now and stuff. So it's like, literally a lot of that, just like random luck. Like I just happened to apply to, the show that one of my friends knew the assistant editor on. So like she gave me a good word. And then like the editor was literally just like, I'm going to give you the shot. Just literally, I'm going to give you a shot because everybody else could have somebody else. And I was like, that's insane. It's so crazy.
That's how it goes. It feels like this. It's literally like right place, right time, right connection. Like all of that has to come together in one cosmic, like,
absolutely,
this is the moment. Because like, and like a lot of times people will like ask me, okay, so like, how did you get to the point where you are? Or like, how do I start sending things? Or like, how do I, like progress to this level? And I'm like, I mean, I can give you like a general sense of what you should do, but like, dude, honestly, like and like most other people in this position or like in any position of anywhere, just like met someone along the way or like, use connections. And it's like, oh, let me do this. Like, and it's just luck. Yeah. It's so much luck. I mean, obviously you have to have the work ethic, which you totally do. And like, you have to have the work ethic and you have to have the talent to back it up. But like, so much of it is
it's insane. Also, like, okay, when I know like the music industry it's very similar to the film industry. Like they're very similar setups.
Yeah.
Like, did you when you were like told as a kid, you were like, oh, it's it's a lot of like it's who you know, like that's what it is. Like, did you did you like try to not believe that as much as possible? Because that's kind of what happened to me. Because I was just like, no, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna meet some people, I'm gonna do some stuff. But then it was very much like as soon as I got out here and started actually like working and doing stuff, it was very much like you would shoot a text message to somebody, be like, yo, you got anything? And they're just like, yeah, you want to do this? And you're like, yeah. And then like that's how you get gigs. Like it's 100%.
That's
true.
What it is. It's 100% who you know all of the time. Like obviously there are anomalies. Obviously there are people who just like are insanely talented and know how to like market themselves or like know how to put themselves in certain positions to where they'll be seen by a lot of eyes and like will get picked out luckily by someone. But like that's, 1 in 100,000, so it's 100% everything in these industries is who you know and like the connections you have, which is insane.
It's annoying because part of me still just doesn't want to believe it. Like I don't want to. I know.
I want to be the naive kid. Exactly. I want to be the like, just like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. Like I'm gonna fight for my way to the top, and I'm gonna like put in all I've got. And when in reality, it's like, yeah, I'm doing that, but I'm also like leveraging the people that I know who I know are in certain positions to get me where I want to be.
Yeah, and I think the nice thing is too is like it's very transactional and it kind of makes like the relationship with that person transactional. But I think at the same time too, it's like they fully understand it because it's just like, yeah, like I had to do the same thing. Like I'm gonna help this person out because somebody else helped me out. Like you really do pay it forward, and that's like exactly.
It's
super interesting. Like I was even talking with my editor on this current show, and he was just like, yeah, so like, do you want to edit? And I was like, yeah, that's the goal. Like I want to be an editor. And he was just like, all right, I'll give you some scenes. And I was like, what? Like on this show? And he was like, yeah, I'll let you cut something. We'll give you an additional editor credit. And I was just like, oh yeah, sure. That sounds sick. Let's do that. Damn, but it's just, he was just like, cool. Yeah, he's just like, we just got to help each other out, man. He's just like, it's a lot of just paying it forward. He's like, I knew I'm only here because I had an editor that was just like, hey, you want to cut some scenes? And I did it and it worked. And I was just like, that's okay. That's crazy. I was that's like, tight. Thanks. But
that's tight.
That's a lot of what it is. It's just like you really do kind of help the next generation. And like, yeah, it is a little bit of like nepotistic and stuff like that. But it's like you really do like garner the next one in entertainment. Like, it only comes from like what you give them. And so that's kind of it's cool, but it's like also shitty.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
Double-edged sword.
It totally is. But it is a double-edged sword. That is the world we live in. That is that is the business that we chose.
I think that's
to love.
I think it's kind of cool. Like this is kind of like a cool insight into like things for, our sweet viewers at home. And like I think obviously like should they have questions, I would hope that they would reach out and try to ask us some, like throw in some comments, like ask us,
straight
how
up
the fuck we do this shit or anything like that. Just because like, I think it's a very they're both like both the music and television industries are both very like mystical areas for a lot of people. Like people like know it's there, but they don't know like how the fuck to get there. It's very Atlantean, And so it's like, yeah, like I want to help people get places. So if you guys have questions, let us know, ask us. I'm sure we'll help you out. If we can.
Shoot us a comment.
Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah, obviously. Like we're not going to attempt to lead you astray or give you advice that we wouldn't take, but there's some shit we don't know. Nobody knows everything.
That's it might surprise people, but we don't know everything. Yeah. We don't know everything. I know it looks like we do. I know our podcast is very intellectual, and when we talk about dicks and
a lot of
and stuff, but like, yeah, a lot of that, but we don't know everything. It's surprisingly.
And yeah, we never take anything we say as an endorsement of anything else either, because that's not good. You don't want to do that. But
no, until we're sponsored by restaurants.
Until we tell you to use Blue Apron because they paid us for
an endorsement. Exactly. And today's sponsor is NordVPN.
Like
you
every
find
other
yourself getting
YouTuber.
hacked all the fucking time.
Dude, oh, it's insane. Like I love like now I'm starting to see like the Raid Shadow Legends advertisements inside other games, like other mobile games or something that I play. It comes up, I'm like, are
Really?
you fucking kidding me? I'm also keeping a list of every badad that comes up when I play things.
Oh, that's so good. That's so funny.
Oh, there was one that I saw the other day that was just absolutely fucking hysterical. And I just had to grab it because like you can't. Oh, this one. It's just like a dude and like the game looks so fucking stupid. You can't see that at all. You can see a little bit of my desk. Yeah, you can't see that. But it says this game is 100% enjoyable. And I was like, doesn't sound like it.
That's so weird. It doesn't. You games that are 100% enjoyable don't have to fucking convince me in the tagline.
Dude, exactly.
BioShock 3, 100% enjoyable. Like,
And I found another one that's for like a solitaire game and it says legally cash out on PayPal. I was like, don't you you have to legally cash out. There's no illegal way to cash out of a fucking
illegally use PayPal.
I was like, what the hell are you
Dude, what
talking
the
about?
fuck?
The whole thing is just insane to me and I love them.
I love those. I love them. I got one the other day that was like, it was just like a ball that you have to like shoot up in the air and like catch it on a fucking platform. And it's just like, no one can reach level 6. Like if you reach level 6, like you're legally allowed to like, what is with the legally allowed
Dude,
to? Like
I don't
you're
know.
legally skilled. Bitch,
this one that I just found too, it's for like some weird like assassin game or whatever, but it says if you reach level 2, you're legally a hunter. And I was like, level 2? I was like, that's still like demo levels. I was like,
so
what the
low.
fuck?
Like one past the tutorial. You just have to complete the tutorial and they will send you a hunting like gun license or rifle
You just
license
get a carry
in the mail.
license for completing a fucking mobile app. They're like, all right, you're good enough to have this gun, kid. And you just like, it's like a 14-year-old just running out with like,
Send you like an AR-15 and like the license like in the mail. You're like,
oh, wow.
son, this came for you. What is it? And you're like, oh, I'm legally a hunter now.
like that's what it was.
That's
like
so
you get
funny.
like a badge and everything. Dude, there's
Legal hunter.
There was one that fuck, what was it? It was like it was this like wood chopping game. Like literally the whole thing was like you clear a forest, and I was like, this isn't a message we should be teaching our youth, but all right.
What the fuck?
And it was just like it said I can't get to pink wood, and then it was just like a winky face, and I was like, what
Ew.
the fuck are you talking about? And I was just like, this is so stupid. It was just. Dude, who is in charge of that marketing? Because they're either brilliant or insane.
I don't know, but I think it's a little touch of both, dude, because that shit works. Like even sometimes on me, I'm like, bro,
I want to be a hunter.
I kind of want to play this.
I want to be a hunter.
I want to, yeah, like this shit looks dope. But then like every single time I like cave and download one of those games, it is riddled with ads and paywalls. And it's just like obviously they're targeted like children who like have their parents' fucking credit cards on file. But like every time it's like an ad for another game, an ad for another game. Oh, remove ads, like extra $3. Like, oh, buy coins. And it's just like, boop, 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 boop. It's like fucking insanity, dude. It's like oh God. Yeah, it's nuts.
The mobile
so,
app
I mean,
industry
I
is
feel
so
like they're
weird,
smart.
'cause-
I feel like they're a little bit twisted because they know exactly what they're doing. But like,
absolutely. And that's the thing.
hey,
Like, they make so much money, dude. Like almost
Oh my
to a
God,
point
dude.
where they've like eclipsed AAA titles and like how much money they can make. Because it's like,
which is
at the
nuts
end of the day, like
from microtransactions.
Yeah, exactly. You just need like your team can be like maybe 30 to 40 people, and you make that, and then you're just raking in like hundreds of dollars a day from people getting 3 more tries at Bubble Shooter. Like that's all it is.
It's crazy,
it's so
man.
strange.
It's crazy.
But like you also kind of have to,
And it's such a low like ceiling. That's true. I mean, like you have to spend money to like market in front of all these people. I'm sure they put hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in advertising. But like the thing is, like on the programming side, on the back end, it's kind of simple. I mean, you could literally follow. I mean, you could have minimal programming knowledge, follow like a YouTube tutorial, and then just make the code your own and make the assets your own, and boom, you have a fucking like. You have a bubble shooter, you have a platform game, you have a little tap to flip game, and you just
it's just a lot more in like the art. So like you pay somebody to make all like your sprites and animations, and if it looks bright and vibrant and flashy, like you just boom, you're like that's what I want, and that's it.
And
then you throw 100,000 behind it in marketing, and you make that shit back in 6 months, and boom.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to me, and like I've got a lot of friends that are like in like game development, like as like their career, but like none of them make mobile apps, and it's a lot of like I want to know how that shit flows.
I do too. I really want to talk to someone who like is in that realm because it's so interesting. It's so interesting. You know,
so cool.
Like it's pretty dope. There's
in kind of like a negative way because it's like you really are just like preying on human psychological factors. But hey,
oh yeah, 100%. Hey, I mean it works. It works, you know, and they know it works, and whatever. It's a business, and at the end of the day, it's, you know, that's a pretty low on the totem pole. And
that is the moral of today's story. Capitalism will not go away, despite how much you want it to.
It is omnipotent and omnipresent and omniscient and
other omnis.
It's omni. It's omnivorous. Yeah,
Omnivorous.
that shit eats everything.
That's what I was looking
Omnivorous.
for.
It's omnivorous. Omnicapitalism. That is the goal. I mean, not the goal, the moral.
Gotta overthrow the proletariat, baby. Let's fucking go. Bourgeois? Which one was the one that was trying to be overthrown? I don't fucking know. Who cares? Someone will yell at me about it. That's all I need to know.
Someone.
I'll learn in the comments.
Exactly.
That's what matters.
You'll learn in the comments. All right, man. I got a class I got to teach in 5 minutes.
Fuck yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like this is great because it just gets bookended by you going to do your thing. So hey, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in for episode 9 of the Lunchtime Serenade.
We'll see you next
podcast.
week for episode 10. Please enjoy 420 response. Well, shit.
Yeah, this is gonna be after
you're gonna
it,
listen
so.
to this and it'll be after 420. So I hope you had a great 420. Have a great time, man. I hope you do that. I'm gonna go teach this kid how to make melodies.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna wait a couple of hours and put together some TV, I guess. So, anyways, thank you all very much for tuning in.
Looking forward.
And we'll catch you next week, middle of the day, middle of the week, right back here in the Lunchtime Serenade podcast. Bye, everybody.
Peace out.